Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another SmartPort Challenge 2020 Roadshow, which is running every Thursday at 4 p.m. So for more information about the challenge, please head over to www.peersanyone.sg. And I'm very happy to see some familiar audiences online today, as well as new, not really new faces, but new names. So welcome if this is your first time joining us at our roadshow. So today we will be hearing from two organizations who have put up innovation opportunities or problem statements for the startup community all around the world to tackle. And we're very happy to see participants from Japan and as well as other countries. So at 4 p.m. today, we have Yusen Logistics, which is based in Hong Kong. And they'll be sharing about efficient data exchange with non-system integrated container freight station. And at 4:30 p.m., we will have JurongPort, and they'll be sharing on machine learning for manpower and equipment deployment planning. And while the conversations are ongoing, if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the Q&A section. And you can find the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And we will address them as much as we can. And if we can't, we will be in contact with you directly to have your questions answered. And this session is recorded, so it will be made available on our Facebook page after the event. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome on board Ivy from the Planning and Strategy team, Haruka-san, on process innovation. Ivy and Haruka-san are sharing the same screen because they are together in the office, as well as Matsushima-san, who is from the product development team. Matsushima-san, would you like to turn on your video so that you can say hi to our audience? While we're waiting for Matsushima-san to turn on his video, I'll let Ivy introduce a little bit about your team as well as Yusen Logistics, which is a logistics company.
Hello, everyone.
Take it away.
Yes, let me share the screen. I just casually share a few slides. So let me know if you can see our company slides.
Yeah, we can see it, but you might want to play full screen so that those who are online can also see it clearly.
Yeah, is it okay? Let me do the key slide. You can see. Okay. Yeah. So I'm Ivy from Yusen Logistics, Planning and Strategy team. Actually, we are under a group called Supply Chain Solutions. So I'm trying to quickly introduce our company. So this is our company vision mission. So connected, committed, created are our key values. So as similar to other competitors in the industry, we provide a lot of different kinds of supply chain services, from freight forwarding to supply chain solutions. And we also serve several industries. So mainly focus on retail, automotive, food, healthcare, aerospace, and technology. So these are our focus areas. And this is just a overview of our organization chart. So you can see that supply chain solutions are one of the business functions in our company. And then Haruka-san is actually coming from process innovation. So this one is just a high overview about our organization structure and business function. Our headquarters actually located in two locations. So both Tokyo and Hong Kong are our GHQ. So a bit special. And about the challenge. So as Ling just mentioned about quickly, we face a challenge about non-integrated, non-system integrated CFS. So why we face this kind of challenge? Because we have a lot of services globally. So not all countries, I mean the CFS, what we call CFS is actually the warehouse that are helping us to receive cargoes from different suppliers. So these CFS may be located in some remote countries. And the warehouse operator, they might not have a sound system that can communicate with our supply chain management system. So in other words, we have some good or sophisticated connection in the other area, but in some remote area, we don't have that kind of connection. So it takes extra time for warehouse to communicate with our operation team. For example, when they receive cargo information, like this flow chart, it shows several communication that we will face when during the consolidation process. So when warehouse team, they receive the cargoes, they need to either call our team or fax information to our team to update the cargo status. For example,
right, Ivy, before we go on, I think we have to be a bit more mindful about some of the entrepreneurs who are online with us today that many of them are not actually in the space. So I would like to go into a little bit of a basics about container freight station. What exactly does it do? And why is it important to Yusen Logistics? And I mean, I know that the container freight station does play a part, but some of them don't actually understand what it is. So there's a need to get that explained.
Let me quickly introduce this concept and ideas. So because not, as you know, in a global trade, so for example, a buyer, they may buy products from different suppliers, but each supplier, they may not have enough cargoes to fill a single container. So the idea about a container freight station, which is the warehouse, is trying to consolidate cargoes from different suppliers. They may be located in similar location, for example, a city in China, for example. So that buyer might source multiple items from various suppliers. They all located in Shanghai, let's say, but each of them, they just represent a small number of cargoes that cannot fill a full container. So consolidation can help to consolidate cargoes from various suppliers, so that can achieve economies of scale. We can make use of a full container. And then from customer side, which is buyer, they don't have to pay, for example, more handling charges. So this is the idea about consolidation and CFS.
I guess that's the less container load basis or principle that we're talking about. But for people like myself who are not, who's not an expert in all this, I do understand this principle. So if I buy things on Taobao from the various cities and I want it shipped to my place in Singapore, I will have it consolidated at one place before shipping it over to Singapore, right? It works in this kind of analogy. Am I right?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, great. So that makes it simple for us who shop online to understand. Okay, so let's go on to the process that you're drawing out on your screen right now.
Yes, because during the consolidation, we just explained the consolidation process. During this process, it's quite critical to know the timing of cargo which are going to be delivered to the warehouse. So timing and also quantity. So once we have all the vendor that can be vendor A, B, C, D, when all these cargoes arrive, they may arrive at different timing. Then we need to update what we have received from the warehouse side and update this information to our customer. So, and also our operation team need this information to prepare the load plan. So they will plan the cargoes to be shipped maybe next week. So they need to plan how many cargoes and how many containers to be used and booked with carrier. So a lot of coordination during this process. If we cannot receive the updates timely, then it will delay the whole process. And also, if they find something wrong during the receiving process, maybe some cargoes are damaged, we need to report all the status to our customer. So what is the instruction for next? Should we hold up all cargoes or just bypass this one and move other cargoes according to the plan. So this is the first step when we receive the cargoes at warehouse. And after that, we need to communicate, share our container load plan to the warehouse. They will start the cargo according to our container load plan. This is another stage of communication. And after that, after all cargoes loaded to the container, and warehouse need to confirm us again what they are stuck into the container and in what location. So all this information, money back and forth communication. If we don't have a connected or integrated data interchange between two systems, like talking to warehouse side and Yusen Logistics, it takes a lot of time, effort to clarify maybe what we receive and then many questions. So the challenge here is how we can receive all this information timely and correctly. And the other point we want to highlight, maybe from this process flow, you cannot see clearly. So that is about the data. So about the data, because our Yusen Logistics Supply Chain Management System is designed to accommodate what we call a PO level or item level of information. So what our customer would like to see is really quite detailed. So under that PO, that item, we need to update the cargo receiving status according to that kind of structure. But you imagine in the warehouse, usually they don't have a very sophisticated system, and they will just mark down how many cartons they receive. And then after they receive all this information, how we can update to our supply chain management system. So it takes some extra work for our operator to input according to maybe line by line this item from carton A, then they need to interpret and translate down into the right language. Then it can fit the requirement from our customer, also the design of the system. So this is another challenge. Let me quickly show you. This is what the CFF look like. And then just a quick summary about what impacts if we all manage the consolidation process manually. So we have extra manpower and resources, and then the data input may not be correct because all manually update, and also we cannot control the timing of the update on cargo status. So how we can push warehouse team timely update the cargo status to us. And the other thing is all this will delay the whole process, delay cargo planning, and ultimately delay the shipment delivery. So this is the issues we want to address and improve. And back to the challenge, we would like to look for efficient data exchange between maybe warehouse and also our system. So we look for some innovative solutions. This is the background and about the challenge.
Okay, so, and this is a challenge between non-integrated CFS. So that means that there are some CFS around the world that are integrated with Yusen Logistics systems, right?
Yes. For example, in major ports, major cities, for example, Shanghai, Yantian, and even more developed countries, we have all this kind of connection. But in countries or cities, for example, in Chennai, in India, we might not have this connection.
Okay, so because the majority of the, or rather I'd say the larger ports where your transaction volume is probably higher, it's usually integrated. But I think one question that comes to the mind of the entrepreneurs is like, So if it's, how big is this problem for the non-integrated CFS? Is it a lot of volume that you're transacting, or?
Yeah, maybe right now I cannot give you an exact number, but what we are seeing is the sourcing trend. Right now we see that many customers, they shift their sourcing location due to many different reasons. And from our BD team, sales team feedback, so also what we see from recent tenders, a lot of shipment, they are actually coming from what we call the small origins. We are seeing the growing trend in this location. So that's why we want to address this issue. And if we cannot solve these issues, then we cannot get ready for the next opportunities.
Right. So it's apparent now that there's a growing trend where transaction volume is increasing for this, I would say probably developing countries where the system is currently not speaking to Yusen Logistics. And imagine the hassle for just one CFS, but then when it's multiplied in many other places where it's a little bit more remote, then the problem gets a lot bigger, right? So we do have one question. So let me see, who is this from? Okay, I'm so sorry, I can't find out the real the long name, but then someone who is not from the shipping industry but is trying to ask, he says that he's still not very clear about the process. Process? So what kind of system the CFS is using to record product quality or shipment quality? Would it be enterprise softwares like SAP, or even using something as simple as an Excel spreadsheet? So I guess this question is probably, maybe you can let us know the differences or the kind of solutions that a integrated CFS is using versus a non-integrated ones, then would know the comparison as well.
Yeah, for the integrated one, maybe we can call an example. For example, in our many of other developed countries, cities, that the warehouse usually they are using like a Manhattan warehouse management system. They don't have a standard system, but they have some WMS, we call warehouse management system, that can talk to our management system, supply chain management system. But in this case, this scenario, the challenge is even first, they might not have this kind of big name, big system in place. The other thing is even they will just manually handle update into Excel spreadsheets and then email to us or fax to us.
Okay, and that's where miscommunication will happen, right? When things are being faxed or dealt with manually. So that's where the time lag is, because probably different time zones. So there's a delay. And anything that's manual, it's bound to go wrong most of the time. So we do have a follow-up question. Why are some of these CFS not able to adopt current integration systems?
I think one issue is, as we just mentioned, currently, maybe we just have a very small number of small amount of shipments from this area. And then our bargaining power is weaker actually. So, and this warehouse, not part of Yusen Logistics. We are working with some other partners. So that means we are communicating with our vendors. So we need to persuade them to use another system is quite hard. So that means they have extra investment.
Yeah, okay. So that means more money being pumped in to build up their own capabilities. Yeah. So that's why, right.
We can think maybe in the future, if we can grow that volume in their warehouse, they can earn more money. Maybe that will be easier for negotiation. But that is also chicken and egg. If we don't improve, we cannot get extra new business.
Right. Okay. Cargo ERP is asking, currently what documents are used to send in cargo items or shipping order, and if it's mandatory?
So you mean what kind of document warehouse will receive to do the check?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like what kind of documents are in place between the CFS and Yusen Logistics.
Yeah, I can explain a bit. So usually, we explain at the beginning, we have our own supply chain management system. So we will usually receive some data from our customer. For example, what are the coming PO shipments that will go to the warehouse. And then we will print out a report, actually email a report to warehouse. So they will, based on that report, they just print it out like an Excel spreadsheet and check line by line what they receive and fax it back to us. This is like a packing list, yeah, that kind of document they are using to check the cargo receiving status.
And this is a follow-up question: is if shipping orders are commonly used, is it in a unified format? I guess a common language. Will it have any QR code or barcode
So
for shipping orders?
Yeah, let me try to clarify. Yeah, if the shipping order is when the shipping order is at that time when the supplier they would like to submit a booking through our system. They will let us know when they will deliver the cargo to us, and then we will release a standard document called shipping order. And they use that document, present that to our warehouse, and also deliver the cargoes to the warehouse. So that document issued by us standard. Yeah.
But is there a QR code or a barcode inside?
No, for shipping document, shipping order, we don't have a barcode QR code.
Okay.
At that stage, yeah.
All right, so I think this question is coming from someone who is trying to understand why is it that there is an integrated system for some CFS and why is it that there are not? So he just wants to know, he or she wants to know if there is no integrated system and individually every country is still working in silo. I think the question is more, I think the answer is no, yes and no, because for the CFS in ports, which are a little bit more developed and that handle larger volumes, it's integrated, but the problem is where it's in the developing countries, the CFS may not be as big or as established, and the transaction volume is definitely not as high. That's where the systems that they use are a bit outdated, or sometimes there's no system at all. So that's why it's not speaking to what Yusen Logistics is using. Am I right?
Yeah.
And that is a problem because Yusen Logistics is seeing a growing trend where the volume is getting higher and higher in these places.
Yes. Even for some existing customer, although we secure their business, when they try to change their sourcing pattern, that means they would also understand, they want to understand our capability. Can we handle the same in other origins? But if we are telling them that we don't have the same capability, we also under risk whether they will ship all business to another provider, they can cover that country. So this is what we want to avoid.
There is this question on market size, but very specific to India. I wonder if you have any data on this. So Avik is trying to ask how large is India's export-import demand business volume in terms of container or in terms of dollar signs for Yusen Logistics?
Honestly, India is not the biggest.
For Yusen?
I can give you some other figures for those customers we handled by supply chain solutions division, because we have several divisions like freight forwarding. For supply chain solutions, majority of our cargoes right now still coming from North and Central China, but we are seeing the growing trend from Southeast Asia countries. For example, Vietnam is one of the largest Southeast Asian countries we are now handling. But for Vietnam, we already have that kind of connection.
Okay. All right. This is also something that is about market size. So Joel wants to get an estimate approximately how many CFS does Yusen Logistics interact with as a whole, and if you already have a quantifiable loss or maybe loss in opportunities, right, from mishandled transactions. So how painful is this problem to Yusen Logistics in terms of money? Dollar signs.
Yeah, we need to check yes, more details about number. Yeah, but for logistics or our network, you can have a look in our website. You click at a glance, then you will see that how many logistics spaces we have, and it also tells give us an idea about number of warehouse. Let me quickly have a look. Yeah, I think that has been updated. Currently, we have over 550 logistics spaces over the world. So logistics spaces can be translated into, it could be our offices plus warehouse. Yeah,
Okay.
Logistics center as well.
Maybe another way to ask this question is, so with so many transactions that you handle every day, right? So what are how often is miscommunication or mishandling of transactions, how often is it happening every day? If you have a rough idea, I think maybe percentage, and then that would probably help Joel size up how big the problem is.
Maybe this is just my wild guess. I think maybe 10%. Yeah, if that is really a big trouble, then we cannot. We need to put off the fire immediately.
Yeah. So Joel, I hope that helped to answer your question. So it is a big problem, or it will only get bigger when the volume increases, right?
It's quite difficult to quantify. Sometimes it means it can be measured by time. Maybe a day you receive how many phone calls. So we may need, in the past we have a team, they call offshore team, to handle this kind of issues. But I think because of the communication, everything improved. So that team dissolved. But we don't want to see another offshore team to be formed again. Yeah. So we try to solve this problem before it happens. It becomes bigger and bigger. Yeah, the issues.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Due to time constraint, we do have a few more questions that we're unable to answer, but then we have captured those questions, so we will get back to you separately.
Yeah.
So that is also my cue to Ivy that you will still hear from me after this event to follow up with some of the questions that we're unable to answer today.
Yeah, we can try to get some statistics. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just to wrap up, if you want to find out more about Yusen Logistics problem statement, you can head over to the website, which is www.peers anyone.sg, to read out a little bit more. And then you have more questions, you can send it in to us at enquiries@peersanyone.sg. All right. So thank you so much, Ivy, Haruka-san. Thank you very much for coming online.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you hear from me again very soon. Thank you so much as well, Matsushima-san. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. See you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so that concludes our first half of the session. We have our second half coming online immediately right now. We're just waiting for Kong Meng and Evelyn to turn on their video so that we can say hi to everyone. So please stay tuned for our second half of the event today. And we have JurongPort online, and we will be discussing the use of machine learning for manpower and equipment deployment planning. Oh, okay. So they are online already.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Hi.
good afternoon, Peng.
Hi, Kong Meng. So Kong Meng is a senior manager at the digital operations team, and Evelyn is with the strategic planning optimization department. So for those that just joined us online, if you have questions for Kong Meng, Evelyn, you can leave them in a Q&A section, and the button is just at the bottom of the screen. So I know that Kong Meng has a lot to share with you today. Now, port operations is not something that's easy to understand. So he's kindly drawn out a lot of visuals to share, and I'm not going to take more time away from him. So Kong Meng, can you just dive straight into the problems? So what is it with documents and equipment deployment planning that is so complicated and we need help with today?
Yeah, thank you, Peng. I actually hope that I can this be with this all the participants this in the same setting like last year, so we can have.
Yeah.
But this year, unfortunately, I have to work from home, and then we have to do a webcam session sharing. But I would like to make it as informal as possible. Please feel free to ask questions, and I will try to answer as much as possible.
Yeah.
So just let me share my screen with you.
Mm.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so I will start. This I hope you have read our problem statement from JurongPort. So we have been with Pure 71 for a couple of years. So I don't need to introduce JurongPort. This is the
Maybe just share a little bit. I think because when people think about port, right, they think about the container ports, but JurongPort is unique. It's not really a container port. It's a multi-purpose port that deals with mainly bulk items, right? And
yes,
and some containers, but mostly it's still bulk, break bulk, those kind of cargo.
Yes, we do handle containers. We have a combi terminal which we are using key cranes to handle containers plus general cargo. We are multi-purpose port, and this you can see this the view, beside view of a JurongPort capture on our dashboard here. So it's it's just before Jurong Island. So you can see the causeway leading to Jurong Island, but we are just before the causeway.
Mm.
So we do general purpose cargo. This is mainly those break bulk cargo. So 80% of cargo, they are steel products for constructions. Then we also have bring in a lot of cements also.
Mm.
Yeah. So you can see that even at such time like this, we do have about 20 vessels coming in this on a daily basis.
Mm.
So we hope that our industry will pick up, and then the business will become better for the next few months. This for the vessels, right? You can see that this is one of the vessels. So for every vessel which come inside the JurongPort, right, we will have to deploy those worker gangs, right, to work on the vessel. So you can see that we are trying to introduce a policy, technology, skills upgrading, this to the whole port, and then we want to increase the productivity. And this is one of the problem statement which have thrown out is to have some means to have a platform to learn all the rules on how to deploy the manpower and equipment. The next few slides will illustrate this. So
wow, this is a very powerful slide because you have now and what you want in the future, right?
Yeah, you can see that there are some abbreviations. Yes, there are foremen, there are riggers, there are the signalers, forklift, these operators, the truck drivers. So this per hatch, one hatch, this is about 12 to 17 workers.
Yeah.
So we actually have the need to deploy this many workers for one vessel, and we hope with improved technologies like this, we will be able to deploy a more optimal gang personnel to each vessel, and then this to increase the productivity. This time, let me go to the next screen. This is the, you can see the cross-section, the view of one vessel. You can see that there are 5 hatches here, and then usually they come with a ship crane. And this is what we are trying to illustrate here is there are different types of cargoes because we are multi-purpose port, right? So we have different types of cargoes, all sorts of size, shapes. You will see some of the pictures later on. This is just to give you a flavor of the type of vessels which you have. They are not the container vessel. They are the general purpose, the big bulk cargoes, right? They are very different from the containers.
Yeah.
And this, I was actually asked to illustrate this how complicated this treatment is. So this, I know that in this many multi-purpose port, right? They do not have very sophisticated resource planning and manpower, equipment deployment planning systems. So we are trying to embark on a very challenging this problem statement to try to get a solution. This is to help us create a learning platform, right, to understand all this decision variables. What I've listed in front here. The operation type, loading, discharging, the cargo type. We have different type of steel cargoes. Many types. I will show you. Packaging. Also different type of packaging, lifting method, and then the vessel type. Whether it's the box vessel, whether it's a bulk vessel, the yacht and berth, the transport type. So all this will have an impact, or this will influence the decisions for us to deploy, or to deploy the type of gears and the quantity, the tools used to discharge or load cargoes, the manpower required, the gangs required for the different hatches, and the equipment to be deployed at the quay site, inside the hatch, at the yard site. This equipment includes the forklift, the side loader, etc.
Actually, there's one more question I want to ask. So these are all variables that affect the planning, and am I right to say that I vaguely remember before a vessel comes and berth, right? You need to develop this plan one day before it's scheduled to come in, right?
Yes, typically is 12 hours before the vessel arrives, right?
Okay.
The planners will start planning.
Okay.
Because 12 hours before vessel arrival is also the submission time by the agents, right? For them to submit the type of cargo to be discharged and loaded. So the cutoff time is 12 hours, and of course for some nearer ports it could be nearer 4 hours before vessel arrival. But we do branding before the vessel starts. So today the planning is pretty much a manual basis. This is on Excel worksheet, and we want to have a platform, right, to be able to capture all this expert knowledge, because today we have very few planners who really know how to plan efficiently, all the equipment, the gears, the manpower, the tools used for the operations. So we have started since December last year with a team. We have formed this cross-functional team with operations, with the planners, to identify the key decision variables. What are the factors which will determine the various type of gears, tools, manpower, equipment, and we are trying to draw out some kind of this structure, so that we are able to use as a starting point, right? To learn what the expert already know. This is just a starting point, because steel is just maybe 80%, and then a multi-purpose port, right? We have other general cargoes like rubber, paper, machinery, project cargo. There are many other types. So this platform eventually will have to know. We have to learn how to plan for all these general cargo vessels. But for a start, we would like to do the steel products first.
Okay.
So the type of cargo, you can see that even for steel, right? there are about 17 type of steels, ranging from the H beams, the rebar, the steel plate, wire coil, steel sheet, etc. There are some pictures later on to show you. The packaging type, you can see that they're loose, they're coil, they're padded, etc. So for different type of cargo, they have a different handling rate. This is tons per hour. So these are industrial standards. How many tons per hour, which usually they can discharge or load such a cargo.
Okay, we have, sorry, we do have one question from Evic. In principle, right, he's saying that shore gang is hired and deployed by the shipper or buyer receiver, and the decision variable is with principals and not port authority. So what is JurongPort's involvement in productivity gains for these gangs? I think maybe because for JurongPort, if the turnover, I mean, not to say turnover, but if it's more effective, then you can also have more, you need less time for the vessels to berth. Am I right?
Sorry, can you repeat the questions? I missed a few words.
Okay, so he's saying that principally, shore gang is hired and deployed by the shipper or buyer and receiver. And the decision variable is with the principals and not the port authority.
Yes, this previously, this before JurongPort, become a port operator. Previously, we were operating as a landlord model. So mostly the gangs or the equipment, the gears, they were planned by the stevedore companies engaged by the shipping lines, shipping agents. But I think 2-3 years ago, JurongPort has become operator, and then we are into the business of planning the vessels. We also providing a supplementary workforce to the stevedore companies. So what we are planning to do is we are trying to work out this improved operating model, right, on how to plan efficiently the vessels, how to operate these vessels to improve productivity, and then be a showcase to the stevedores on the ground, and then try to lead all the stevedore companies to be able to adopt the more efficient way of planning and operations.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So this one is the Excel spreadsheet, a snapshot of Excel spreadsheet, which you can see some of the decision variables like transport, whether it's direct or whether it's forward, the type of cargo, and then it's used to determine at which area you need to deploy how many forklift operator, how many checker, how many foremen, safety lifting officer, etc., etc. So we actually have compiled this very big Excel spreadsheets, right? But we think that that is not the way to do things. So that's why we are hoping to get some the innovative proposals to see how to capture all these rules for the planning, because even by capturing spreadsheets, right, we are also trying to debate whether how many decision variables like set loader can be yes, no. But before we capture this set loader yes, no, right, we actually were looking at the key site, which berth, which yard, and then the turning radius of the berth, the turning radius of the yard, to allow the equipment to be able to move in and out of the berth or the yard safely. So there are quite a number of decision variables to be captured. This is just a sample to illustrate.
Okay, it seems like there's a lot of data that you are capturing. So, and we do have one question. I think it's the usual question that comes out, right? Is there enough data for their algorithms to learn? So maybe just to understand from Kong Meng, how much data have you guys been capturing, as in just to give a rough idea? How long have you been capturing all this data?
Yeah, we have been operator for this 2 over years. And then okay. Of course we have in-house the operation systems. We also have online, JP Online, and we are in the process of implementing more operation systems to capture the cargo tallying, to capture the vessel, the DNA, the structures of vessel, and then with such information we also capture all the brands manually, and we are trying to now try to understand what the key decision variables and to find a best way to to learn these rules and this to store them in whatever platform, right, which can be easily adaptable and change and to be able to modify over time.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see that the next one is all the gears. This the many type of gears. I will show you some operation pictures on why there are different type of gears, different for the different methods, and the quantity used. So, but these are some mock-ups. This we actually have done, right, using the Power BI just to illustrate that what are the input variables and then what are the output. Initially, you can see that we are capturing the berth number, the storage yard number, and then the cargo type, the packaging, the lifting method, in order to get the tools, the gears, the equipment, and the manpower. These are the number of hatches in the vessel. So you can see that we are doing some modeling already, and what we are doing today is just to understand the rules, the decision variables, like to plan a one hatch. One hatch is this one cargo hold. So this complexity will be way much more when we have trying to deploy for the vessel, because things like some of the manpower, right, like those foremen, they can oversee side by side adjacent hatch, so they do not need to be deploy this for every hatch. And some of those things, whether the crane breakdown, or whether how many hatches, what's the optimal, the crane intensity, some of these things will come into play when we plan this more than one hatch. So there'll be more decision variables than what we have listed down here. Yes, the next one I'm trying to illustrate is to show you some of the lifting gears, which may not be very obvious to you, because if you have not come inside the port, have not gone down to the vessel, you may not have seen the football field, like inside the vessel hold, right, which can store many cargoes. So these deformed bars, you can see all these slings here. This is using with some choke hitch. So there are different gears use this to handle all these deformed bars. And these are the steel plates. You can see that they are lifted with different gears here. SWL is a safety weight limit. So there are different type of the wire ropes with different safety weight limits. So depending on the type of the pieces of cargo, right, we will need to use a different safety weight limit, type of ropes and gears to operate safely. You can see this one is the plates inside the vessel hatch. It's quite a maze inside the vessel, so we have to operate this. You can see also we deploy this forklift and the gangs within inside the vessel hatch, as well as on the wharf apron and inside the yard. Okay, this on the wharf apron, so you can see that this is all the coil being slung down, and then there's trucks here.
Wow, that's a lot of variable just for steel alone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a different types of cargo just for steel alone, right?
Yeah, you may not have seen so many types of steel. Maybe constructions, you thought that this the MRT or buildings, right? They're all the same type of steels, but actually, we are importing many types of steels for various use. These are steel coils. Of course, these are the bigger ones, basket leaf, and for the different type of cargo, right? They will need different gears for lifting the cargoes. This is another type of lifting to be more efficient. They actually use a platform so that they can discharge and load more at the same time. This is all the big piece. This one is the pipe, steel pipe. So you can see that many type of cargo. Some are lifted using the choke method. Some are lifted using a basket. Some are lifted using this many type of ways to make it more efficient. Okay, this one is the H beam. Yeah, so I have shared quite a number of the gears. Yeah. This I can show you later on. Some of the other gears, but this is just to give you a favor on the type of gears used.
Actually, with so many variables, right? We have a very valid question. Also, they're also trying to gauge what's your expectation like for how solid should the algorithm or the solution be. So once again, Joel's asking, right, how terrible would a misprediction be for JurongPort? Not exactly for MPA, I think. For instance, right, if the program generates an error in predicting or in predicting one of variables, so that's going to affect the overall plan, right?
Yeah,
So
we are not so ambitious while we try to be ambitious. I mean, so far we are not emphasizing on this optimization, because when we talk about optimization, we are talking about the pooling of a common pool of manpower, pooling a common pool of equipment and gears, and then when we deploy for many vessels, right, that it'll be more than one dimension space, or there'll be 2-dimension space. You come into the time where the vessel berth and unberth, so there'll be conflicts and deconflicts. So that one is even more challenging. Of course, if somebody can come up and propose to be able to optimize for all the vessels, right? I think that would be even fantastic. But for a start, I think we are good enough, right, to be able to have a solution, a platform, which are able to to understand all these decision variables, and then to have a platform to learn them, and then to be able to come up with a viable solution, thus to deploy the manpower, equipment, gears, tools for one particular vessel.
Yeah.
So
what Joel is asking, even if it's for just one, let's just say just one type of steel, just one type of vessel, right? So how accurate does JurongPort need the solution to be? Like, what's the margin of error that's acceptable? Because we are not sure if it's, let's say, a 5% error, right? Would that be very serious for
JurongPort? This will be some safety considerations. Like you see that some of the gears, they have safety limits. Of course, during operations, they will check. So actually, before this vessel operation starts, right, like even today, when we plan manually, right, we will go down and discuss with the operators, with the stevedores, the workers, and then we have a safety officers on the ground to do all the checklist checks, to do all the gears checks, to make sure that the safety certificates, they are still not expired, whether all the slings, all the chains, they are still good, and all the safety measures will be there to ensure that all the plans developed by whether the manual or the system, they are good to operate. So do not be worried about generating some maybe 1% error, because on the ground before vessel starts, right, we will have safety officers down there to make sure that everything is okay before operation starts.
Okay, understand.
Maybe at this juncture, let me quickly show you a short video. You have been seeing this many slides, so let me show you the website and key site video.
Okay.
Can you see this one? Can you see the video?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you can see this is discharging of coils, and then these are all the slings. We have operators here on the website. These are the forklift. So this is on the key site. Within the vessel, right? Inside the vessel, the hatch, right? There's another gang inside. This with some forklift inside also. So this is the key site. So this at the yard site. Similarly, there are also a gang, and then the equipment at the yard site. You can see this truck going to the yard, and then there's a forklift here. Just let me fast forward a bit. These are the two short videos just to let you have a flavor. What is the website? What's the yard site? I don't have a video of what is inside the vessel, but just some pictures have been shown.
Yeah.
This a quick one on the type of gears, right? Can you see my Excel?
Yes.
These are the more these are more gears used. These are the chain sling. There are many type of the dimensions of the gears used. This I can go down. You can see that there are many types. These are the various types of forklift. Some are heavy lift. Some are the overstack stacker. These are the type of cargoes. Etc. These the many gears used. So we're actually compiling this data using Excel spreadsheet. This to look at what are the decision variables. Let me go back to my slide. So you can see that some of the decision variables are the storage, the type of cargo, the lifting methods, how the cargoes are bundled, and then the yard, the key, so that what sort of equipment can be deployed, and also whether it's load discharge, whether the vessel type, whether the vessel is a box vessel or whether it's a bulk vessel, whether you can put a forklift inside the vessel hull. So there are quite a number of decision variables.
Okay.
So,
All right.
This is what we hope to achieve, right? You can see that we actually have a very holistic plan on to become a smart and connected port. So there are many modules, but let me sheet off the rest of them. The one in this problem statement is the resource management, right? What we try to build the platform for learning of all the rules, right? Eventually, this will evolve into a resource pooling management and deployment, which I mentioned briefly that we want to pool all this manpower, we want to pool all the equipment and the gears into a common pool, so that we can achieve optimize use global optimization. But it'll be more challenging because now when you optimize, you have to take into considerations the different vessel arrival times. So there'll be some overlaps, and then how do you manage the different timings? But for one vessel, right, this we believe is still manageable. So that's why we want to start with one vessel first.
Right. So this is actually one step forward towards a bigger picture where eventually you would be able to learn from the past, and then you're able to draw a plan with minimal errors, so that you maximize the productivity of not just equipment but also manpower on the ground.
Yes.
So this is just the first part we are looking at, right? Trying to capture the data and trying to learn the patterns and things like that.
Yes. I have been working in the port this for over 30 years. So previously how the port work is that they have expert systems. The systems they use, they call it expert systems, and then they try to capture the rules in some forms, and then try to make how the expert planner plans. But today we think that there are different type of technologies, right? With a lot of AI technologies, with a lot of machine learnings. So we are challenging all the startups and as well as the industry players to come up with more sophisticated, more engineers and more more up-to-date technology, which will help us to move forward to become a smart and connected port, and to be able to understand and capture all these rules, this for the planning purpose. So if there's such a platform, right, to understand the rules to plan the vessel, it can also be used later on to apply to other industries, not just in the port. So we can see that such a learning platform, it can be used to plan in other industries where they also need to deploy manpower equipment. So depending on the decision variables you choose, right, and then if you can have a learning platform to learn what are the decision variables and then what are the outputs, then it can be used besides in the port in many other industries as well.
Right, that's definitely true, right? I mean, that's how we draw inspiration from other industries, and that's what we want in Pearson. We want for other industries to reimagine their solutions for the maritime industry, and we're more than happy to take that step forward.
Yes. Yeah, so you can see that in JurongPort, we have always been very supportive to all the startups. So we actually offer JurongPort as a test bed for all the innovative the testing of the solutions. So over the past 2 years or 3 years, we actually have staffs coming to us and then we have successfully also tested their products, and some have been deployed in our gate systems, etc. So hopefully this year we can continue to engage other staff or some industry players, or even this high institute of learnings, this who have solutions for us, and then we will be very keen to test make the solution, and once it's successful, we will deploy it for our JurongPort use as well as for the stevedores to use.
So guys, this is where your opportunities are.
Yeah, so that's all I have prepared for the presentation. Do we have any other questions for me?
Actually, we have a long list of questions, so we are unable to answer all of them here today because due to time constraint. But what we have done is we've already captured the questions, so that's okay. We'll get back to you. So Kong Ming, I think I have more than 10 questions for you after this event.
Yeah, so I will be delighted to answer all your questions, because I think that's how we wanted to to get interest, the party to come forward and to offer our JurongPort as a test bed for you to test out your solutions. So we are very keen to wait for your proposals in this Pier 71 Smart Port Challenge.
Yeah, so I think for those that are attempting to put up a proposal for JurongPort's problem statement, so be mindful that there's a closing date. It's 10th of August. So make sure that your proposal comes in before then. And I think there are so many questions that will be beneficial for everyone to find out the answer. So what we're going to do is we will record the responses to these questions and we'll put it up on YouTube or something. And then we'll let everyone know when the answers are ready. So after this event, I will be writing to you, Kong Meng, with a list of questions. Yeah, sure. I will wait for questions and we will answer them accordingly. Yeah. Okay. All right. Once again, thank you very much, Kong Meng, for sharing so much with us. And I hope that I'm sure that the audiences here benefited from the sharing. It's not very frequent that we get a glimpse into how port operations are like. Although I have seen a bulk carrier carrying cement once, but I've never seen steel. So I wish to be able to visit JurongPort one day again.
Yeah,
actually.
This I think when this situation permits, we can organize a tour to get the Pier 71 as well as some of the industry players to come down to visit JurongPort. Yeah, and this will be exclusive to Pier 71 startups, okay? Because seats are always limited. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for having JurongPort this online. Yeah, thank you so much. So we'll be back again next week, same time with other organizations. Thank you. All right, thank you, Kong Meng. See you. Bye. Bye. Take care.